Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Star.
And I'm Downtown Andy.
Welcome. We're here to talk and bring some civil discourse to an otherwise discordant world. This was like take 3 because we kept blathering and didn't actually remember where we were and everything. But we are here, and it's Monday, and I'm happy to be here. Are you?
Do you?
Do you? It's nice to be here.
Luton
with
always
you.
be happy to be here.
Yeah.
I perpetually got dirt and debris in my left eye, but
That's sort of a thing these days. For me too. Only it's usually the right.
the fan in my truck is on my left side, so physics.
Well, you wash your face every once in a while, right?
I try, yeah.
Yeah, so there's only so much. Do you have an emergency eye wash station at the office?
No, and
Maybe you
and we
should have
and
one
we
put in.
Well, the office isn't where we need it. It's on the road.
Well, you bring a water bottle with a squirt on it, and you just.
Maybe I should bring the rules.
You could bring the rules, all
What
3
rules?
of them.
Tell me.
We
what
have
are these
3
rules you speak of?
3 rules here in the bubble for the sake of civility, no judgment, nothing personal, and don't be a dick.
Tell that to all the
Please.
fucking pollen out in the world.
Please don't. Oh, God, don't even get me started.
Bring on the
Fucking
rain.
pollen, seriously. All of this rain that we've been told we're going to get, and then it happens for like 5
Seriously.
minutes, and then it's gone.
Ever since the dawn of adulthood, there are so many things that I can do away with that I used to enjoy as a child, and the main 3 of which are summer vacation, summertime, like weather-wise, and oh God, I lost my train of thought. What was the other one?
I don't know. You
Something
didn't tell
about
me.
pollen.
Flowers? Plant life? Flora in general?
I had it all in my head, but I just blanked on it.
Bees.
Yeah, I'm losing. I need to go see like a neurologist.
God, you're turning into my dad.
It's all
My
this-
dad sees a neurologist because he can't remember anything. They told him to do puzzles.
What was that Cousin Eddie line about starting the microwave, forgetting who he was, and pooping his pants every half hour?
No, I think it's piss my pants and forget who I was for about a half hour or so.
We went through the rules in this take, didn't we?
We did actually, yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Thank God.
I know that was like
Oh,
10 seconds ago.
I'm
but
so sore. I mean, I'm fresh out the shower, but I'm so sore.
fresh
right?
out the shower.
Like literally, you talk about pollen. I'm in the shower, and I can't breathe through the left side of my face.
Well, that's why we have his and her Sinex now.
Like,
not
we
a sponsor,
did.
not a sponsor.
No, literally, but we did go out and buy his and hers bottles of Sinex.
And I
'Cause-
stumbled upon that stuff like completely by chance because I don't even remember. I was probably looking for something to alleviate my not being able to breathe in my sleep. And I just grabbed that off the shelf, took it home, was like, I'll shove this up my nose.
It's sweet Vicks relief.
It certainly it worked the first time. It
It's
worked
like
instantly.
it's like the only thing that actually
It worked
works.
instantly.
I've tried nasal sprays that are just the saline. I've tried Flonase. I've tried Azalastin. Like I'm
That
a
stuff
mess.
is disgusting.
And I'm just like I'm glad that the Sinex works, but I want to use it all the time because it works. It's very habit forming.
Ugh.
You're all right. I'm very sore. Is it a lot of work today?
I did. Yeah, you've made this house a home.
I did a lot
very
of
homely.
physical labor
You
today.
you on video and especially audio can't see this, but some furniture got erected and some pictures got rearranged. Whoa!
This is literally just the beginning. Very much just the beginning.
Well, we're not taking them on the dime tour of our house, so what do you want to talk
Not
about?
this time. What do I want to talk about?
Aside from the fact that we're always tired.
No, we're not always tired.
I'm cold. I'm cold.
You're cold. I'm sore. We didn't say anything about being tired.
Yeah. It's the end of the day. We're cranking this out. We got a surprisingly chilly day today, which is very nice.
I wouldn't go so far as to call it.
I
I wouldn't go so far as to call it chilly.
Well, I mean, the air conditioning hasn't been on at all today, and I'm in a sweatshirt and a beanie.
Okay, well, joke's on you because you weren't here, but the air conditioning was on today because I was doing physical labor and I was sweating my balls off. So the air conditioner did go
You
on
have
today.
both?
Not anymore.
Well,
What
at least
do-
one of us is clean.
What do I want to talk about?
That is the question.
I want to talk about something.
Oh boy. Oh shit.
Get lubed up for this one. Let me ask you a question. Do you ever get what the kids call FOMO?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sure.
Like when? Are there
Um,
specific,
use it in a sentence.
like, I can't go out tonight and I'm getting a serious case of FOMO because of it.
Use it in a dirty sentence.
I can't use it in a dirty sentence.
So FOMO, the acronym for fear of missing out. Is that
Yes.
correct? Yeah, fear
That's
of missing
what the kids say, yeah.
out. What kids? What kids are you talking to? I mean, I would honestly describe my entire midlife crisis as that. Like, you know, the whole like gathering of guitars and stuff that I never had for the sake of having it, before I die. Like that's a form of fear of missing out.
So you attribute it to passing up opportunities to have things.
Well, I mean, I successfully acquired everything that I ever wanted, so it's just like my midlife crisis is over.
Well, as your wife, God bless. But like, do you ever not necessarily cancel plans, but like, does not following through on like an actual plan to do something, does it ever cause you that kind of feeling?
A little bit. I mean, like, so last week I talked about that that gig that I signed up for, and I actually called them and canceled because I wanted to give them enough time to find a replacement.
Mm-hmm.
Because they needed somebody, and I was like all gung ho about it, and I'm like, oh, I got to learn these 35 songs, and but I was like many things, I was looking for reasons to not get psyched about it, and looking for reasons to be like, this is more of a chore than an excitement. So
Why did you take it if you didn't want it?
because in that moment I wanted it, and then after thinking more and more about it, it's just like I think I jumped the gun on it, kind of like we did with the whole looking for a house thing. Because we'll get into that later.
We'll get into that later.
But it's just like, I got excited, and then I'm like, I'm still not recovered from how pissed off I am about having worked with so many like lazy musicians in my lifetime. Like I'm at a point where I'm comfortable at home. Like I don't want to go out to dirty dives and be there till 2:00 in the morning and fucking have to wait to go on and sit through bands that I don't enjoy. And we've been through this before. But as far as my FOMO goes, it's like I intend to make plans or embark on endeavors for the sake of doing what I want to do before I don't have the chance to do it anymore. Like, that's kind of what this podcast is. It's like, I've complained so much about how I don't have enough video footage of deceased family members. So the fact that we have at least 100 episodes, like a third of which at least have video attached to them, where I can go back and I can watch you and hear you, God forbid anything.
Am I going first?
I certainly hope not.
Toy, salt over the shoulder.
But there is that now. Like, there's very, very little footage of, there's not little. I mean, there's not enough. There's never going to be enough.
Never enough.
Of my parents and my brother and there's footage of Jim. But yeah, I like to be proactive about experiencing the things I want before I can't do them anymore.
Okay.
How about you?
I don't think I experience FOMO. I really don't. I feel like I experience a totally different sensation. Whereas I think a lot of people, if they are unable to do something or if they're unable to be a part of something, that they have this like, this anxiety that they're missing out on something, that they're not, like a part of the in crowd and the inner circle and the inner machinations of whatever is happening and everything. I think I experience like a fear of disappointing others.
I mean, in that vein, I've always felt bad about leading somebody on.
Yeah.
With the idea that, like, yes, I'm going to accompany you to your plans or whatever you've invited me to, or I'm going to attend whatever you've invited me to.
Yeah.
And then either backed out last minute or not gone at all or just not responded.
Yeah.
It's like, because I hate doing that, just like I hate Irish goodbying, but it's just like there are so many things that I want to do that I can't do, and then there's so many things that I can do that I haven't really wanted to do.
Like, if somebody says, and it's happened so many times, like, I think about, like, groups of people being like, oh, we're going to go, like, when I worked at the dispensary, and everyone's like, oh, it's Saturday, we're all going to go to the bar, and we're going to, after work, and we're all going to drink, and we're going to have dinner, and we're going to, laugh and whatever, and everything like that. And I'm like, there have been moments where I'm like, maybe I should go, but then it's like, I wonder if, like, not going is changing people's perspective of me. And to an extent, apparently it did. Like, Stacy said to me more than once, like, well, we don't tell you when we're going out because you won't go anyway.
That's really shitty.
And I'm like, that was a really lousy thing to say.
Prime example. So, like 6 months after Mom died, I decided to get into competitive Yu-Gi-Oh playing. Like, this had just been a game that I enjoyed as a kid with friends in school and whatnot, and just as a hobby. And I think I mentioned this in a post, as opposed to, I'm sure I've talked about it on the podcast, but like, I realized how active the local scene was, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this because it's there, and it's with a different like mindset, because now I'm an adult with adult rationale and reasoning, and it's like I can focus on the logistics and the mathematics, for lack of a better way of saying it, of how to play appropriately and how to strategize and shit like that. Like, because I'm going into this presumably to try and win against other adults, in a very complicated and complex game. But I put it off for a long time because I'm just like, people are going to make fun of me because it's a stupid kid's card game and blah, 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 blah. But then there's other adults doing it and they're having a good time and they're winning stuff and whatnot. It's like, it's supposed to be fun. So go to have fun. And I went to have fun. And, I got my ass handed to me quite a bit in the beginning. I still get my ass handed to me if I ever go there. But what I learned was that, there were a lot of people there who took it so seriously to the point of just absolute rudeness.
Yeah.
Like, there are some people at the local tournaments I would go to that were just made it completely unfun because of how, competitive they took it, how seriously they took it, or how snotty they could be, or how, snooty. And so all of these things would make me refrain from going, because it's like, why am I going to go blow my money to lose? Why am I going to go sit there and be insulted? Why am I going to have to fucking deal with these people? Like, why am I going to pay money to go have a bad time?
Yeah.
Like, this is supposed to be fun and enjoyable, and all I'm doing is going and finding reasons not to. So, I won't go. But then there's the FOMO, because it's like, I want to go because I want to go play with the guys that I actually, like being around and like talking. Because some guys there, we would shoot the shit for, however long, and, it would be a social thing.
Yeah.
But I fought myself, and I still fight myself to this day. That's why, like, when you and I go, like, it's just us. Like, we're not playing with anybody else. Like, we're doing it for ourselves and having a good time and making up our own rules. And the guys are kind of like peering over, like, what are they doing? Like, what do they got over there? And that's not really so much a jab at them. It's just that, like, what we do is enjoyable. It's fun.
I think so.
We're interacting with each other. We're making it our way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm not really missing out. I'm getting to do what I enjoy in the environment I enjoy it in, and in the back of my mind, I was kind of hoping that would entice more people to kind of come over to our side, take the game out of the equation. It's just like, you've said to me, and I've seen this in memes online forever. It's like, be the change you want to see.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I want to partake in something and I don't like the manner in which I see other people doing it, it's like, okay, well, let's go do our own thing over here and see who we can attract.
But we don't do our own thing with the intention of I sure as hell don't.
Right, but if somebody were to come, like, you've seen a handful of people come over and be like, hey, what's up? Good to see you.
Yeah.
Maybe someday somebody will. Who knows? Maybe they'll get tired of the way.
And then what? We have to sub out? That sounds lame.
Sub out?
Yeah.
No.
What? We attract one other person and then all of a sudden, one of us has to sit out?
No, they can sit there and watch us.
I was going to say, I'm like, no.
Yeah. I mean, that was the whole reason we started having people over here, because I wanted to take the competitive aspect out of it and have it be a social thing where our friends show up and we eat pizza and drink beer, and some of them, do other things, and
Smoking weed is legal. It's okay to say that.
I know. I'm still in that mindset of just like, whatever.
But yeah, like I think a lot of people.
I still act like my parents are listening.
I think a lot. They are. I think a lot of people throw themselves into situations because of that FOMO. I think that they're like, they don't want to regret not doing things.
So they purposely throw themselves
into it because anxiety says, if I don't do it, I will regret it. I'm the other side of that. I tend to throw myself into things when I do. I tend to throw myself into things because out of anxiety that other people will be disappointed if I don't. So it's not because it's internal, it's external.
So you're focusing on their perception of you?
It's the only anxiety that I have with regards to missing out on things.
Because you think that if you skip out on something somebody's invited you to, they're going to think you're, they're going to think differently of you, or they're going to think less of you because you didn't take them up on, like, say, their offer.
Yes. So it's weird for me when people are like, oh, if I don't do this, I'm going to regret it. And I'm just like, because I don't deal in regrets. I don't, like, you make a choice. You make a choice to do something. And if you make a choice, and it turns out that you wish you could go back in time and make a different choice, it's like, that's fine, but why live with regret? Because regret carries with you.
Welcome to my list of every person I've ever dated before you.
Regrets?
Sure.
I don't regret any of the people that I dated.
I regret
even though some of them were absolutely horrendous. But I don't regret because I don't know what my life would look like if I didn't.
Yeah, you live and you learn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But I definitely have thrown myself into situations where I'm just like, this is a good idea. And I'm like, it's not a good idea. I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it.
Was that you every time I tried to ask you out before you actually said yes?
No, I wanted to go out with you.
Then why did I sit in that chair for 2 hours?
Because you kept talking about being friends. I'm like, I have enough friends.
No. You said that we were going to go get bagels.
Yeah, and then it was just a mistiming.
Yeah.
You going to hang that over my head for the rest of my life?
Well, no, because we went and got bagels after we were married.
Exactly. Do you ever feel like you need to do things because you don't want to let people down?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Every time Dad called me, it's just like, he's going to think less of me if I say no.
Yeah.
And then ultimately it developed it got to the point where I didn't care if he thought less of me.
Yeah.
I didn't care what his opinion was anymore, because there was never going to be a time where he wasn't calling me to do something or to do a chore or to come over and help him or, whatever. And like, how many times were we laying in bed, I had, after a long day of work, and fucking he calls me up. I can't figure out this computer. I can't figure out this remote control. I can't figure out this phone.
Dad will be there in daylight.
It's like, Dad, there's this thing called YouTube, which you've used.
It's bedtime now.
There's this thing called Google.
Google?
He knows how to, he knew how to use all that stuff, but, he figured he'd get a quicker answer calling one of his tech-savvy kids.
Well, my parents do that, too. My mom will text me to ask me who it was who was in some movie or what was the name of that TV show and everything. And I'm like, you could literally ask your phone these questions.
That is totally different,
How is that different?
Because if Dad called me for that, I would be more than happy to answer those questions, because it's
just your parent turning you into Google or Siri.
But that's a conversation that you could have.
But that's just it. It's never for the purpose of a conversation. It's I need a tidbit of information. Please supply.
I mean, I'm sure I've called him on, periodically and been like, who was that guy in that movie that one time in that one year?
Yeah,
like,
right.
But to be at his beck and call to fix all of his stuff.
Well,
like,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Oh man. Like.
Oh boy, this has got to be good.
Well, no, because now it's become a running joke that like every Sunday Linda asks me to turn her phone off.
It's not every Sunday.
It's almost every Sunday, but I mean I don't care. It's it's Linda.
Yeah.
But but yeah, no, I don't like disappointing anyone.
Yeah.
But I've grown out of that fear of what their opinion of me may turn into should I advocate for myself, because again, before we got together, I didn't advocate for myself nearly as much because of what I thought people would think of me. Through conversations with you, I've learned to care a whole lot less and just let the chips fall where they may. And if it removes people from my life, it's like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to be somebody's doormat. I don't want to be somebody's punching bag. I don't want to be somebody's butler.
The butler.
The butler.
This has been on my mind the last few weeks because we haven't actually let the people in on a change in the itinerary.
Oh, that's where this is going. Okay.
We haven't let the people out there in podcast land in on a change to the itinerary.
To quote Sean Evans, let the people know what you have going on in your life.
This camera, that camera.
Roll out the red carpet.
So
we just finished watching Hot Ones.
I was in the shower. You watched Hot Ones. But it sounded good. It sounded like a good one.
It was Ed Boon. I've been on a big Mortal Kombat kick lately.
Yes, you have.
Well, because I'm still trying to get to watch the second one in its entirety.
We are no longer going to be at the Nashville Tattoo Expo in August.
Dun, dun, dun.
We're not going to be there. I don't know that we've actually gone into some of the shit that has gone down over the last few weeks.
Oh my God. Do you have FOMO over this?
No, I have faux dough.
Saw dough.
But I wanted to take a minute and just sort of explain. I'm sure nitpicky people will notice that we haven't been promoting it the last couple of weeks. But the fact of the matter is
Nick
that
doesn't listen anymore.
I'm not talking about Nick.
Good.
What made you think I was talking about Nick?
I'm making a joke.
Oh, I'm like, well, did I say Nick?
He's hanging on our every word.
Here's my word.
I quit the band and he's got FOMO about this podcast.
So a few weeks ago, Sadie had an accident.
Not the kind of accident you may be thinking.
No, she did have one of those also, but
first time in months though.
She was doing her regular thing. We were getting ready I think we were just getting ready like in the morning.
Yeah.
Right? I think you were on your way to work.
Yeah.
And we were downstairs in the kitchen and dining room, and all of a sudden the dog I don't mean to laugh, because it really does make me want to cry. But
I mean, she did look like she was rehearsing for, her stunt roles in a movie.
Yeah, this dog, 15 years old, 35-pound bowling ball, came down an entire flight of stairs.
And over in pairs, and over the neighbor's dog.
On her rib cage. And she crashed face first like a bowling ball into all of the different containers of pet food. And it was absolutely terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
And she looked at us like, what? What's going on?
She shook it off.
Yeah.
She did shake
She's
it
like,
off.
What
She
are you guys
did
looking
shake
at?
it off. But I watched her, I still do too, but I watched her like a hawk for like the next week. And she has not been permitted to go down the stairs by herself since.
She is her father's daughter.
When was the last time you fell down the stairs?
Oh, I didn't. When I was like 3 or 4.
You haven't fallen downstairs since you were 3 or 4?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm good. you know. But I did fall through the
You
ceiling.
did fall. You did fall through the attic floor.
Did
yes.
we ever tell that story on here?
I don't know if we've told it in its entirety.
I was up cleaning the attic. I took a wrong step. I plummeted
Took
through
a wrong turn.
I plummeted through the closet. End of story.
I think that you lucked out and not paralyzing yourself.
You mean getting impaled by a nail?
Or being like, or falling like right on your spine on the corner of the safe.
And you come running in, and I'm just like, let's go back and do
I
it
was like
again.
hysterically crying when I saw that. Will you stop punching this wall?
There.
But Sadie got a boo-boo, and she has not been allowed to go up and down the stairs. She has since taken a
Vow of silence.
a little reprieve from jumping. She doesn't jump into the car very much anymore. She definitely doesn't jump into my car. She has a hard time jumping out sometimes. She face planted coming out of the mail truck. She gets stuck when she jumps out of the car. You know, all going downhill is no longer on her repertoire.
She has not been flailing nearly as much when I go to pick her up to carry her down the stairs.
Which is good.
Although she did headbutt me one time.
Well, yeah, she doesn't like being picked up. She definitely doesn't like it.
Most animals don't.
Yeah.
And I get that. But again, it's the difference between, you know, picking her up and her falling down the stairs again.
But with this happening, with this incident, with, with everything that comes along with it, we made a conscious choice. We made the choice to stay a little closer to home for the time being.
Oh yeah, we're talking about Nashville.
Yeah. And it sucks. It's really stinky, and it's unfortunate, but so we won't be doing Nashville this year.
I mean, it's a really shitty thing to think and talk about, but the reality is that unfortunately, once she's no longer with us, making travel arrangements and going places will be a little bit easier if we choose to.
If we choose to.
I
don't know if I would go so far as to say it'll be easier, but it is one less factor.
Because a large part of our decision to go places and do certain things is based off her well-being. How
Yes.
long are we leaving her for? Whether or not we're bringing her with us. And
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to any of that. I've said this before. I'm the kind of guy, like, I always thought that when I got a dog, when I was a kid, because I saw other people do this, like, I always thought when I got a dog, that dog goes everywhere with you. Like, you don't leave that dog home. It's attached at your hip 24/7. And I see people do that all the time. And, like, I'd feel better about that if she were attached at my hip, but she's not.
No.
She's more attached to you and always will be.
Yes.
So... And now so Phoebe is too, so I can't have a cat attached to my hip.
That's because I'm home with them all day.
The one dog that would have been attached to my hip is no longer with us. So.
But I think that the reason why it's taken a couple of weeks to tell people that we're not doing this, for me, is that fear of disappointing people. It's like, we were hyped up and we were raring to go.
And those
for
Tennesseans were counting on
and
us.
Listen, we don't know, but we promoted this shit, and now it's like, oh, sorry.
It's not like we didn't. Okay, it's not like we didn't want to.
No,
because I love Nashville and I love Tennessee and I really wanted to go back.
Yeah.
But if I have to choose between, doing that and risking her well-being, the dog's well-being, and not going, it's to be here and keep her comfortable and not have to board her anywhere, like, because
well, we have to board Phoebe.
I don't even like that.
I don't like it either. Do you want to do something about this sun right in your eye?
No.
Okay, because
does it look good on camera?
It looks fun on camera.
Yeah.
We look like we're definitely in two different rooms.
Yeah. So in regards to the boarding of the cat, that's because now we're gonna take a small vacation with the boy and the dog,
so
much closer,
much closer to home, just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Place we've been before and taken the dog.
And what is to me, one of the weird parts of it is that this is an actual vacation.
Which we never do.
We don't do that. I don't think you and I, well, no, when we went to Lake George for our anniversary a couple of years ago. 2 years ago. That was a vacation.
That was.
It was only
a planned vacation.
only a couple of days, but like that was an actual planned vacation,
Right.
and all we did was vacation stuff.
Yeah.
But like Nashville, I know that you call it a vacation, but it was work. It was going to be a lot of work.
That is because when it comes to working the conventions with you, or whenever I would go on tour or do anything that was not a planned vacation, like in the traditional sense of the word, it never felt like work. It just felt like these are the activities that you are planning out for yourself while you are away. Yeah. And you just happen to be doing business and making money while doing it. And it's just like, you know, when I was a kid, we only ever went to visit my brother out in Chicago. And, you know, most summers we'd spend like 3 days at Lake George. But other than that, like we didn't go other places to vacation or, you know, plan to go anywhere or do anything. It just wasn't a thing, you know? It's like, because Lake George has arcades, golf courses, boat rides, you know, all these things and whatnot, carnival rides. So it's like you can make a 3-hour drive and you have a perpetual year-round carnival, and it's perfect for the kids, and the parents can just sit there and watch. Great for them because they don't have to do anything. So upon my adulthood, it was just like I never planned for vacations because I didn't think it was in the cards. It was just like, okay, if I have the time to take off of work and I have the expendable cash sitting around to spend, because I can't tell you how many like vacations, you know, like mini vacations, I'd come home and my credit card would be run up and like, shit, how much overtime do I have to work to pay this off? You know?
Yeah.
But then I would also think like, okay, I'm going on tour later this year, so that'll be like a mini vacation. Or when we have a convention, it's just like, okay, we're going away for that. So it didn't seem necessary to plan a traditional vacation.
Well, because for you, those are vacations from your job.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can understand why you would see them as a vacation.
Like, don't get me wrong. I love that is my favorite thing to do. I don't even have to have anything planned. There doesn't have to be anything lined up. I just need to travel somewhere. Go somewhere that's not this town, this state for a couple of days and just admire the scenery.
That's what I used to do.
People watch for a while.
Bring
back some souvenirs.
I used to go to Maine like once a month, once every 2 months. For like a year and a half or so. And I used to just go, get a hotel room, get a room at the same hotel every single time. The people knew me. And I would just go, I would get some food. If my friends were available, I would see some friends. I would go to the beach. I would hang out. Maybe I'd go to the mall. But like for the most part, it was just to get away from home and from people and just be like, just sort of a recharge and replenish kind of a thing.
I need to ask you a question.
Yes.
What is the green light over my left shoulder?
The green light over your left shoulder?
Mm-hmm.
That shoulder?
My left shoulder, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's nothing.
What are you talking about?
Because I'm looking...
Are you looking at the green light on my camera?
That must be what it is.
This is the green light on my camera.
Yeah. I'm seeing that reflected off one of the guitars on the wall.
Weirdo.
And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Isn't there a green light on your camera too?
Marvel. Uh-huh.
Isn't there a green light on your camera?
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
But there's no guitars over here.
I'm like, what are you talking about? What were we talking about?
The fear of missing out on a vacation.
Right. You know, like, I know that when we go on this little vacay, all right, that there are going to be things that you are going to want me to do.
Oh, we're getting into this now, ain't we?
And my brain is fully erect. And I am prepared, you know, to say, I love you. No, thank you.
Listen, I get it. You don't want to go out on the water. That's
No.
fine. That'd be the same as like you trying to entice me into going on a roller coaster with loops, which
Right.
I've done. I'm not.
Or
particularly-
going like drag racing or something like that.
Oh, I love drag racing.
No, you wouldn't.
Why what? Why wouldn't I love drag racing?
Because you don't like driving recklessly.
They have freaking. Well, they used to have go-kart tracks up there.
I'm not talking about go-karts. I'm talking about life-threatening driving like a madman.
The go-kart tracks in Lake George can be life-threatening.
Well, I'll pass on that too. But, like I don't feel, that's just it, is that my level of trust with you when it comes, because you're my husband. You're my husband, my love. I love you.
Mm-hmm.
I do not feel like more often than not, for sure, I never feel like I'm going to disappoint you. So I don't have that anxiety about going places with you or signing up to do stuff with you and everything like that, because I know that you are not, your perspective of me is not going to be altered by whether or not I agree to do something.
And I'm not a reckless person.
No, you're not a reckless person. I like that about you. But I have felt like I have to sort of like steel myself against telling people that we're not doing this convention now.
Oh, that is not where I thought that was going.
No, I have to like steel myself to, be ready to be like, sorry.
I thought you were going to be like, I love you, but I'm not going on the fucking water.
Well, I'm not going on the water. But like, do you like, how like people don't want to say no to overtime?
I'm going to think
Because-
differently of you now. I'm kidding.
You know how
Maybe.
people don't want to say no to overtime because they're afraid they'll get in trouble if they say no to it?
Yeah.
But it's overtime and completely optional?
Yeah.
That's the type of mindset that I get into. That it's like, I have to say yes to certain things because if I don't, then I'll be in trouble.
Well, yeah, that's like, well, I mean, that's not so much as a fear of missing out as it is a manipulation tactic. But like a couple episodes ago, I was telling the story about how when Jim died, I told my boss, and I'm like, there's a funeral I'm going to have to go to coming up. And he basically made it sound, he treated it like such an utter inconvenience to him. And I was like, I don't care if it's an inconvenience to you. My friend died. I'm going to his funeral, whether you like it or not. And you're just going to have to staff, for my route, whether, that's it.
I mean, that was my last retail job when I worked at the mall, and I would say, like, hey, like I can't, I would write my name on the schedule to request off for a certain day. It's like, don't put me on this Tuesday. And it's like, well, we already have somebody off that day, so I need you. And it's like, I don't think you understand. I'm not asking you for the time off. I'm telling you, I won't be here that day.
Now, when Jim died, I was 2 years into the job, a little over 2 years, and I hadn't yet called out.
Ever?
Ever. Like, ever. Like.
That's impressive.
So, like never a last minute call out. Like if I was sick and they knew it and I had a doctor's note, like actually at that point I don't even think I had that. But like at that point there was no last minute call outs on my record whatsoever. But I was still under the impression because of the way the boss carried himself. It's like if I do this, there's going to be a meeting when I come back and I'm going to have to justify it. And it's like, I don't want to have to deal with this shit. I shouldn't have to deal with this shit, but it's like, and plus I remember there supposedly being 2 memorials and I was going to try to make one, the other thing too was that like I was still in that because you and I weren't together. So I didn't nearly have the self-confidence that I do now. So I'm just like, there's going to be people there that I don't want to see. There's going to be people there who think that I shouldn't be there, even though I was in a band with the guy for so many years. And it's just like, I don't want, and based on what I've heard from you and other people that were there was drama. And it's just like, I don't want to have to deal with that fucking shit.
I don't know that there was any drama.
I mean,
I did not partake in drama.
As evidenced by the way I talk especially when it comes to death. I have a reverence that I don't see in a lot of other people, for the deceased, for the process, for the grieving process, for the the families and the whole ordeal. You're supposed to treat it with a certain level of respect. That's just my opinion. And I understand that there's not a lot of people I know that treat it, the same way. There's a certain level of
nonchalance.
Sure, yeah. So I felt really bad about not being there. I wanted to be there. I would have been there, but I was, that whole thing took us all by surprise.
Well, yeah.
Because it's not, us not talking for as long as we did there was no falling out. There was no nothing. It's just like, we just didn't make plans to see each other or do anything for a while. And then all of a sudden I wake up to a missed call and it's just like, did you know? Did you hear? Like, whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, he can't be dead. I know. Yeah.
I will tell you that the memorial at the Greek church, I gotta tell you that it threw me. This is off topic, but it threw me because they kept calling him Jamie. And I'm like...
Was that a nickname when he was a kid?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
Oh, so you didn't know it at the time?
No, I'm like, who the fuck calls him Jamie? And I was like, what is happening right now? So there was like a disconnect for me. So I was having like a funeral in my brain that did not match the funeral that was happening in real time.
You should have seen me at his father's funeral.
I was just like, I don't know what's going on right now. So I just started like replaying stuff in my head, and that's what was making me grieve.
I was the only bandmate that went to his father's funeral.
No doubt.
At the same church. And it was the one at the Greek church in Danbury, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the whole mass was sung in Greek, and I'm just like, Jim, what's going on? You want to fill me in here, And
he's just like, I don't know.
It was always funny to see his version of dressing up, which is literally just a barely fitting polo shirt tucked into his jeans and his Adidas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With his hair slicked.
I don't feel like, to swing it back around, I don't feel like we're missing out. I don't want that to sound cold, but I don't feel like we're missing out by canceling Nashville.
I mean, that's one of 100 examples of FOMO in its finest. It's just like, if I had known ahead of time that was going to happen, I would have made plans sooner. I would have called him up, like if I had known anybody in my life, family, friend, whatever, was going to pass when they did, I would have, made plans ahead of time.
Yeah.
As you've pointed out to me, you can't live your life like that.
No, you can't.
So
you can't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that there is...
Drive yourself nuts like that.
There's merit in living life to the fullest and living every day, quote unquote, like it's your last. As in, don't hesitate. Just go with it and live it, kind of a thing. But not because you are afraid that you don't have as much time as you think you do.
I put this into practice. What's today, Monday?
Yes.
Well, for you guys, it's Tuesday. Yesterday. Sunday. So every week when we go to church, okay, there is this woman who sits in one of the wings with a walker. And years, for the last however many years, when you were still working on Sundays and I would take Henry and we would go with Dad, she would always sit directly behind us. And she would always say what a well-behaved boy he was and how cute he was and this and that and the other thing and whatever. And once we all started going together, I noticed she was always sitting on the side. And we'd make eye contact occasionally and, we'd wave and whatever. But like, I couldn't, I had an idea of what her name was because I hate when I can't remember somebody's name.
Yeah. Did you figure it out?
When she told me what it was, I'm like, that's what I thought, and I, for a long time, like months, I hesitated to approach her because I'm like, she probably won't remember us. it's not like they were close. I mean, Dad certainly didn't like hang out with her outside of church and whatnot, but it's like I feel bad because she was always such a nice person, and I feel like ignoring her is rude. So yesterday, I took it upon myself to approach her, and we had a very nice conversation. I reintroduced myself, and she's like, I don't know. I don't think it was you. I think it was one of his other sons, but used to bring his little boy. I'm like, that's him right over there. That was me and my son. Yeah, and my wife now. And so, because and there's like a dozen other people that we see every week that I want to do this with because, but as I said to her, I've been very, very reclusive over the last year or so because a lot of these people that we see every week aren't necessarily my or our friends. They were my parents' friends or, just people that we see. And it's like, and most of whose names I don't recall off the top of my head, but just know by their face and know by standing around and listening to them talking to my parents, before we leave and whatnot. Right. And I said, I kept saying to myself, if I don't go over and talk to this woman, I may not get the chance to, because she's older. I don't know if she is as old as Dad was, but it's like she was always such a sweet person, and I always liked, being in that communal setting with people like that, with non-judgmental people, because I'm so used to being around judgmental people. And she was always so kind to Henry, and her and Dad had a great rapport. So, and I said, I shook her hand and she smiled and I said, I'm so glad you're still here, and she goes, oh, I remember your mother too. She had a different outfit every week. I'm like, yes, she did. Yeah, so it was a tough thing to get that, a tough hurdle to get over.
Yeah.
Because I'm perpetually afraid of rejection, no matter how big or how small. And I'm like, this could end very poorly. Like she could be like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like get the fuck away from me.
Imagine though, little old lady.
But I told her, I was like, before we started coming with Dad, because I've been going to this church my whole life, but for many years went to the one around here because it's, 5 minutes versus a half an hour.
Right.
And I said, but it's not the same.
No, it's not.
It's not. And, I find, this is just me personally, but I find much nicer, more community driven people in that setting than others that I've left.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, we need a yawn button now.
Excuse me.
So because I've also always been a big believer in conquering those fears. The ones that, once you are looking at them with a clear perspective, you can really view them as just silly. And once you get over that hurdle, it's like, that was dumb. Why did I stay in that space for so long?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on that.
Like, do you ever feel like that?
Yes. Can I come up with an example? The only thing that comes to mind immediately is anytime, and it wasn't often, but anytime that I had to call out sick from work. And I did it a few times. And I did it because I was very, very sick. I mean, I called out because I had COVID. I had COVID. The first time was in August of 23, 24, 23.
No, December of 22 or 21.
No, December of 21 was the first time. But after I started working, I think it was it August?
Yeah, because you started in...
I started in February of 23.
Yeah.
So August of 23 or 24? August of 23, because August of 20...
We had it in August of 24.
24, yeah. Okay. So...
That was when we both had it.
Okay. So then I got sick in October or November.
Of 23.
Of 23.
Yeah.
And I got like hella sick. And I mean, I had never called out of a single shift I'd been promoted twice already. So like I'd never called out a day in my life, and I was just like I followed protocol and was like, I am so sorry, but like I cannot come to work today. I'm like, I will try and come to work tomorrow. And the response that I would always get is, please, it's no big deal and everything. And I'm just like, and my brain, the first thing that pops into my brain is they're going to find somebody else who can do my job. Hand to God. That's exactly what I would think, is that it's not that they're going to think I'm lazy or anything like that. It's that they are going to find someone in my absence who can do my job. And if they find someone who can do my job, I am no longer special.
See, I felt the exact that was the exact same thought in my mind.
Yeah.
Anytime I call out sick, it's they're going to find somebody else who can do my job, and then I'm no longer special, which is fine by me.
But like I called out a few times over the course of 2.5 years for very serious ickinesses. And I remember when was it? It must have been October of 24 when I was at work. I remember being in a meeting and I started clearing my throat and I was like, oh no. And everyone's like, what? And I'm like, I'm going to be sick real soon. And it was almost like a foretelling. Like I was like I've seen people be like, oh man, I think I'm coming down with something, so that they have an excuse to call out. But I'm like, I was sitting in this meeting and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm like, I feel like death. And by the time that meeting was 2 hours long, and by the time the meeting was over, I literally felt like a pile of dog shit. And they were like, will you please go home and get away from us?
That's because you're a wonderful person.
And I'm like,
they want you at your
yes.
best.
I'm like, I'm going to go home. And then I came back like 3 days later and I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. And they're like, no, you're not.
Do you remember the last time I had COVID? We're standing in the kitchen. I was waiting for the test to finish up, and the boss finds out. I call him right then. It's like 7:45 or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, how soon can you be here? I'm like, I have COVID.
And then I got it 24 hours later.
And he's like, all right, well, just come in whenever you can. And then he calls back 5 minutes later. He's like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't. And so in my infinite wisdom, I took to Facebook to complain, which is why I don't really do a hell of a lot of, the immediate, like, instant reaction to things anymore. Yeah. Anyway. And one of my coworkers saw that. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it was the Facebook post or if it was us talking about it on the podcast or whatever, but when I got back, I had a conversation with my boss. So I hear you took to the internet to say that, I tried talking you into coming. I didn't try talking you into coming to work. I go, oh, really? Because I got a voicemail that says otherwise.
I was standing right there. Mm-hmm. And he's just like, I mean, if you can come in.
It's like, you want me to infect everybody?
It's like, what the fuck is the matter with you?
You want more call outs? You want to have to pivot more routes? Like, what the fuck is the matter with you? You're a 60-something-year-old man and you're this fucking dumb? And then I found out who it was that dimed me out. It's not even diming me out. It's just like I took to the internet to express frustration, perfectly within my right to do so. And this person this coworker that I thought I could trust, who I thought was on my side, goes and rattles this off to the boss like he's some fucking pet rat.
But that's just it, is the fact that like you can go on your personal social media and complain about your job and your job will give you grief for it. It's like, are you serious? It's like, well, yeah, because you represent this company outside of work. It's like, no, I do not.
Because that same coworker that told the boss about my post, when he got COVID, called me up and he goes, I just tested positive. You think I should come into work tomorrow? And I'm like, no.
I'd be like, please don't.
Because that guy is a 60-something-year-old man. And it's like, you've been doing this job for 30 years. How could you be so fucking dumb? Like, seriously, like, again, I've said this in past podcasts. we were always taught to believe that if somebody is older than you, they're wiser, they're more experienced, they've lived longer, they know better, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, that is not the fucking case at all, as evidenced by these two gentlemen that I have had to deal with, and thankfully after September won't be dealing with for very much longer.
I don't think that otherwise, I don't think I have any sort of anxiety about that kind of thing. I just don't. Like, this whole idea of FOMO and everything, I truly don't think that I have ever experienced. I've never been like, if I don't do something or if I don't make this decision the way that other people would expect me to, that I'm going to regret making that choice. I don't think I've ever felt that. I don't think I've ever been that way. Like, I only ever got on a roller coaster in my life because other people were doing it. So I didn't do it because I'm like, oh man, if I don't do this, then, I'll never know what it's like and everything. It's like, no, I only did it because everyone else was doing it.
It's really just a matter of, like, risk reward management. Like, have you regretted things in your life? Have you had regrets at some point in your life?
Yeah, I guess.
I can think of plenty of times where I regretted not buying more of something that I knew was only going to shoot up in value because I could have sold more of them, made more money, But as time goes on and you have more lived experiences, you think like, okay, I was okay letting that thing go, you know. Or you have an experience like mine where it's like, I should have jumped on that, But at the end of the day, it doesn't define who we are. No. Yeah. There are some people that maybe it does, but that's their hang up. They got to work through that.
I know plenty of people who turn their regrets into their, like, identity? Main personality trait. Yeah. That their regrets are their identity. It's if only my life had been different.
I'm not going to sit here and say that I have not had regret. I've had plenty of regrets, okay? I've also made a lot of really good decisions on my own behalf. Mm-hmm. Whereas, again, if I hadn't quit the bands I was in, I would still be, to this day, complaining about the shows I didn't want to play, the places I didn't want to go, the bands I didn't want to play with, the guys in the bands who didn't practice and made us look like shit on stage. And I'd still be complaining, and you would be watching me get visibly frustrated about things that I absolutely have control over, because my control lies in my ability to walk away. Because once I walk away, there's no reason for me to complain anymore.
Mm-hmm. You still talk about it though.
Because it's a experience to draw from. It is a situation that provides context for this conversation.
It's a situation that provides comedy for some of us. A veritable sitcom.
Like bottom line is, I just didn't, like, with the concert I just turned down, I didn't want to fucking do it. Like, I got excited about it in the moment, and then it's just like, you know what? Could I invest the time to memorize all this stuff? Yes. Do I really want to? Especially this, soon after my exit from another band? Like, I don't. I want time to myself. I've done the band thing for a long time, and when the right opportunity comes along, I will give it, its attention. But
can we be there for this time you have to yourself? Me and the other girls?
Well, yeah. You saw me make video yesterday.
I saw you make video, all right.
You saw me make video.
You saw me make video, yes.
Of a song that I've listened to for years, never attempted to learn, and I learned it in like 5 minutes.
It was a good song. Yeah, I like it. Very dramatic.
Very technical.
I liked how dramatic the arpeggio was.
You guys can see it on my TikTok, my Instagram, my Facebook, all of the socials.
And that we'll wrap it on that.
That is what I come to plug now, because because
that's where it's at.
I miss the stage, I really do, but I don't miss all the headaches that come along with it.
I get it. Well, this was a good talk. I think we learned a little something, and we spread a little bit of knowledge.
I don't have FOMO when it comes to the stage.
That's good. And that's why you were able to say no to this gig.
Because again, like, when I talk about my past exploits, I get to be able to tell people, like, I played with the Misfits twice. I played with Goatwhore. I played with
saw that.
Fucking, all these other bands that I fucking love. And played all these venues that I never thought. Like, the biggest thing back in the day when we were in high school was like, got to make it to the Chance Theater. Got to make it. That is the pinnacle.
I saw you there.
First, it was Empress Ballroom. It's like, if you can make it to Empress, you can make it anywhere. And then we did that, you know? And then it was make it to the Chance Theater. And then I made it to the Chance. I've played the Chance like 9 or more times.
I've seen you play there at least a couple of times.
And I know people who, like, that was their goal and now will never do that because it's not a venue anymore. So.
And you did good. And you looked good doing it. Which is even better, in my opinion.
And I toured multiple times. Like, goal accomplished.
I hear you. And we will make it to Nashville. Just not this year. Just not this year. But we will be doing other things, obviously. So now we have those to look forward to.
The dog's health is more important than our desires.
Yes. Absolutely. And on that note, we're going to call this. We're going to wrap it.
Because if she goes to Nashville, she's going to be laying on a hard floor for hours on end, looking cute for the passersby.
And it's going to be hard for me to concentrate on what I'm actually supposed to be doing because I'm going to be concerned about her the entire time. So I would rather just take her to lie on the beach.
Take her to the beach.
Take her to the beach. Let her lie on the beach.
Living her best life.
And just live her best life. Exactly. We'll get her a little doggy bathing suit. We'll get her a little doggy bathing suit so she doesn't get sand in all the wrong places.
This was a good talk.
It was a good talk. Thank you out there for tuning in and listening to us. I can go ice my neck. I apologize if I seem low energy. I'm so sore right now.
That's my bag.
And my nose is so stuffed.
Do you want me to go get your Sinex?
I'm gonna have.
Do you want to show them how it works?
I'm gonna have to go get it. No, I'm gonna go get it after this. But thank you out there for listening. Find us on Instagram, DT Andy and JJ Star with 2 R's.
God, we're gonna have to take them on vacation with us. We're gonna have to do it live from the road, or from
maybe
destination.
We'll find. We'll say.
You guys are coming on vacation with us.
Email us at dtandyandjjstar@gmail.com with comments, questions, concerns for our well-being, conversation starters, and enders. I missed a couple of syllables in there because I can't breathe through my nose. You can find Love Hard Art and Coat of Arms Tattoo on Instagram. Find Downtown Andy and Just Starable. And now I'm not going to announce any dates because it hasn't been really rolled out yet, but we will be returning to the New York Blood and Ink Fest this coming fall. I believe it's the first weekend in October, and we will confirm that hopefully in a few weeks. But anything that you thought we were going to have in Nashville, we're going to have in White Plains. So, stay tuned for that. And good vibes to our dog, who is going to be coming with us, and our cat, who's going to be stuck in a hotel that's not our hotel. She's going to be in a little cat hotel.
With other cats.
With maybe other cats. She might have that place all to herself.
I don't like that.
Well, she'll have the whole room then. She won't have to stay in her condo.
I'm going to smuggle her with us.
No! She'll be fine. She'll be more fine than we will, because she's just
You just don't want her getting you up at 5 a.m. when you're on vacation.
Do you?
I'll be up anyway.
That is a wrap. That's a full lid from the 4 of us at That Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Star.
And I'm downtown. Woo! Andy.
We'll talk to you later.